What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Malcolm Tibbs. I've been doing self-improvement for about 8 years now, and in that time, I've made a ton of mistakes. So I like to make these videos to help speed up the process for other young men, to help them get to a position similar to my own without making all the mistakes that I did. Now, the biggest mistake that I was making was feeling as if I needed to wait and delay my gratification when it came to getting a girlfriend. Getting a girlfriend is going to be the best catalyst for improvement. It's going to be the best thing that you can add into your life, into your environment, to make you a better individual, okay? If you want to stop watching porn or stop smoking so much weed, if you want to make more money and work harder, getting a girlfriend is going to bias you and your behavior to do those things. When you are being relied upon by another individual and you have a very intimate relationship that you feel the need to maintain, it's going to keep you on your toes. You're going to want to go do more work and make more money to keep the relationship satisfied, to make sure that you are constantly improving yourself. And if you're doing this right, your girlfriend is also going to be improving herself as well, because she doesn't want to get left behind. She wants to keep up. All right. So it becomes this feedback loop of improvement for the both of you. Eventually it turns into, oh, we should get a house and we should have kids, and maybe we should look at getting better jobs, and let's start saving up to put the kids into school. Right. That's where all of that comes from. Right. If you just look at the stats, I want to say it's like a 40% increase. I might be wrong with the number, but married men outperform single men when it comes to making money by a very large margin, right? When you have pretty much a fuck to give, when you have a fuck to give, you're going to give a fuck and you're going to do better, right? And I just want to ask you this. Imagine that you are already performing at you're at your pinnacle. You can't get any better, right? And you don't have a girlfriend. Do you think putting a girlfriend into your environment is going to slow you down? Or do you think it's going to make you go harder? Right? I'm saying this to open your eyes to the possibility that you can be even better. You can be even better if you have the right woman by your side. Not just any woman, right? You don't want to go out and get a homeless girl, right? She's probably going to introduce you to hard drugs and, bring you down a notch. You want to get a woman. I think the best razor for choosing a woman that I found personally is you want to pick a woman who picks you. And you want to make sure that that woman meets whatever basic criteria that you have. She doesn't need to be Wonder Woman. She doesn't need to look like a porn star, right? She can have a little bit of fat on her body. That's okay. As long as she is enthusiastic about supporting you, pleasing you, and doing whatever it takes for you to feel satisfied in life. That's what you want. And if it makes you feel better, right? If you're really turned off to the idea of having a girlfriend, because I've been there before, think about her like she's an employee, like she's your personal cheerleader. She is like the personality hire, if you've heard that term, where like people get hired into a team just because they have a dope personality and they bring up the morale around other people. Get a girlfriend like that who's going to raise your morale. She doesn't have to be able to do your work. She doesn't even have to be somebody that you talk about work to. She needs to be somebody who relentlessly supports you. And if you say, babe, I need the dishes done, she's in the kitchen doing the dishes, right? If you say, babe, God, I really need to take a break, she's like, okay, well, can I rub your feet? How can I help you decompress, right? You want somebody who's going to support you no matter what. You say, I really want to start this new career. I want to start making content. I think it's the best way to make money. And I don't know why. And she's going to go, you can do it. I believe in you. I know you can do it. You're going to be great. That's what you're looking for, okay? You find that and you put that woman on your team, you are going to perform better. It's not even up for debate, okay? Now, the issue is that a lot of men feel as if they aren't qualified for that kind of a woman. And that's silly. That's really silly. Look at the homeless man, right? You go to California, you go to Arizona, you go to any other state inside as long as it's like not snowing outside, right? You're going to see homeless men, and they're paired up with women. Homeless women, right? Most of the time. but they're paired up, right? Homeless men are able to get touch and intimacy and affection, right? These are men who are at the very bottom of society, right? This goes entirely contrary to this idea, like this study that was performed that says all women only want the top 20% of men, right? Bullshit. That's bullshit. You don't need to be Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. You don't need to be Donald Trump, right? You're good enough as you are. Because, again, look at the homeless man. What does he have that you don't? And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. He has more experience with girls. That's it. The good news is, right, there's a good news and bad news, right? The bad news is you're pretty bad with women, right? You just have to accept that. You need to stop blaming the girls for liking a certain thing. You need to stop blaming society for being this way. You need to start blaming yourself, because that's the only way you get better, okay? That's the bad news. You kind of just suck. The good news is you can manufacture that experience, and you can do it pretty quick, okay? If that homeless man is able to get a girl, and mind you, right, I need to make this clear. I'm not asking you to go slay Goliath with a slingshot, right? You need to get one woman who you are able to influence. You just need to get one individual, not all 4 billion women in the world, not 80% of the women inside of the United States, right? You just need to get one, okay? You just need to get one. It's not a big task. The homeless man can do it. You can do it as well. Now, with that being said, to get that experience, which is going to naturally result in you becoming better, right? That's just how your brain works. You get more time playing on a video game or doing a puzzle, you get faster and you get more efficient. That's just how the mind works. If you want that experience, you have to go through a little bit of suck. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to have to go out and try to get rejected. All right. Instead of avoiding rejection, race towards the rejection. And what that looks like practically is you go up to a girl who looks attractive or who catches your eye and you say, "Give me your phone number. You look beautiful. I want to take you out for coffee." You can even cut it down even more, right? You don't even have to give them the compliment. Depending on what kind of girl you're talking to, that compliment may be the thing that makes her give you the phone number, right? You'll get better at discerning that as you get more experience. But you can just say, "Give me your number. I want to take you out for coffee sometime." What do you think is going to happen if you do that? Right? Do you think she's going to pull out a shotgun and shoot you, or she's going to yell at the top of her lungs and then like 5 big like angry men are going to come out and drop an anvil on your head? Like, no. One of 2 things is going to happen. She's going to say, "No thanks," or she's going to walk away. So she's going to give you a passive or an active rejection. Or 2, she's going to give you her phone number. That's what's going to happen. Okay? And so if you want that experience, you need to go out of your comfort zone deliberately and for long stretches of time for multiple days in a row. Okay? Just like you're going to the gym, if you want to get big muscles, you go to the gym and you work out and you do it every day for days upon days, and you do that for like a week, and after 6 months, you look like Hulk Hogan, right? That's just how your body works. You want to get good with women, you go outside of your house or you download a dating app. You do both. You know, if we want to be like optimal, you're going to be doing both, right? And you're going to approach. And you're going to send your messages, and you're going to be bold, and you're going to try to get these women to reject you. And you're going to be able to find, okay, well, you want to look at it like you're running experiments, like you're a scientist. When you take that frame, that perspective, it seems to like unlock a lot of things for a lot of men. But when you start to try to collect data, rather than trying to find your future wife or trying to find the one for you, right? When you're just trying to collect data, you're going to be able to figure out, oh, when I say something like this versus like this way seems to be more attractive, right? If I want to get a girl to take off her clothes and sleep with me, well, I'm going to have to get her phone number, and then I'm going to have to take her out to coffee, and then I'm going to have to get her to my condo, and then I'm going to have to, get her to the bedroom, and, there's going to be like a specific order of things. It's not going to work if you go up to the girl and say, come to my condo, right? That's you can't go from meeting her to the condo first. So you're going to like figure out the sequence of events, the way that you escalate, when it is appropriate to escalate. You're going to figure out when you should be teasing her versus when you should be flirting a little bit more. All of that is going to start to come naturally to you. It's not you're not defective. All right. Your brain isn't broken. It's not as if you have bad genetic material. None of that is true. You probably just had a punishing event at a very young age, which taught you that wanting sex makes you a bad man, or women don't want a man like you, right? One of those two things probably got put into your head at a young age, either from a parent or maybe from church or maybe from a girl in kindergarten who you don't even remember anymore. You can't even remember her face, but you never corrected that way of thinking. And so one of those two thoughts, maybe it's a little bit more intricate the way that you're thinking, right? But it's going to boil down to one of those two things pretty much. And we can boil that down even further. I'm not allowed to talk to girls, right? That's like the core belief. That core belief needs to be addressed and dismantled. And maybe that belief was appropriate when you were younger. Maybe you did have a dad or a mom or a church which would have punished you, and you needed their support so that you wouldn't be abandoned by the tribe and starve and die, right? You needed their support. But now you're getting ready to be a grown man, or you're already a grown man, and that line of thinking needs to be assessed, because it's not helpful anymore. That's all that I have for you guys. This video's going on pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. My name is Malcolm Tibbs. If you're still watching at this point, drop me a subscribe, right? I resonate with your problems, the way that I'm talking, it like clicks with you if you're still here. So hit the subscribe button. It helps out both of us. Like, comment, share this with a friend. If you check the description down below, you can find my Instagram. You can shoot me a message and maybe we can do some one-on-one training or coaching, right? And also, if you want to join a community of other young men who are trying to improve and especially get better at talking to women and swapping notes with each other, there's a school community down below just for that. So that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.